What's up, guys? Today I'm out here at the beautiful Springfield Lake, and for those of you that live in the Springfield area, you'll understand the joke. Anyways, I wanted to make a video today because if you watched my previous video, the Yamaha MT07 review, you will remember that in the beginning of that video I had said that I was interested in getting a new bike. Well, surprise, I got a new bike. If you haven't watched that video, I highly suggest you watch that video. I'll put a link to it down in the bottom. But just a spoiler alert, the reason I got a new bike is not because I didn't like it. I actually really liked that bike. I just am addicted to shiny new things. So anyways, on to the new bike. As you can tell, or maybe you can't, maybe you're a motorcycle noob like myself, this is a BMW S1000RR. I'm gonna do a quick video just doing some initial thoughts on this bike. I bought this bike 2 Mondays ago. Today is a Friday. I bought it 2 Mondays ago. So I've had it close to 2 weeks now. I've ridden it over 300 miles, which is funny because it's actually, in the 2 weeks, I've already ridden it more than the previous owner has rode it. And I definitely don't think I've ridden it enough to give a thorough review and like really say this is the bike you should go buy or this is not the bike you should go buy. But I do think I've ridden it enough to just kind of give some first impressions on it. If you haven't seen any of my other motorcycle videos, I want to remind you that I am a noob. I have been riding for just over 3 months now. This is technically my third bike, but my first bike I only had for about 2 weeks before I upgraded to a Yamaha MT07. So I went from 700 cc's to 1000cc sport bike. Anyways, I don't really have a whole lot to say on the bike, about the bike off of it, that I need to say while I'm not on it. So let's go ahead and just hop on it and start riding, and I'll talk more about what I think of the bike. All right, now that I'm on the bike and I have at least the dash fired up, you'll probably notice a bunch of lights going off. That is because the previous owner replaced the exhaust and tuned it, so now all the lights are going off. It tells me I'm overdue for a service and everything. I've been told that BMW can charge me a fee to turn those lights off. Be like $600, $700 probably. I've also been told that for $200 or $300 I can buy a little computer on eBay and do it myself. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you, but I may do something about it. Anyways, she sounds pretty good. She's an inline 4-cylinder and she has about 3,500 miles. This is a 2022 model, so she's not brand new, but I will say that I've seen some YouTube videos showing the brand new ones have had motor failures. The 2024s have had some motor failures, and so that kind of made me not want to buy a brand new one anyways. This bike does have the M package, so that comes with the premium paint job. That's why you see it's white and has the BMW colors. It comes with a bunch of extra carbon fiber parts. You can kind of see them on there. Hopefully the camera can see that anyways. It also comes with carbon fiber rims. Now, sadly, the previous owner sold the carbon fiber rims. That's kind of lame, but it is what it is. Anyways, so as we're riding through Springfield Lake Park, the speed limit is 20 miles an hour, and that gives me a great opportunity to talk about what it's like to ride this bike slow, because when it comes to the topic of super bikes, you often hear that it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than it is to ride a fast bike slow. And I just figured I'll go ahead and weigh in on that opinion. I have rode this bike for about 2 weeks, so I think I can do that at this point. Most of my riding is in town. However, I did do about a, I don't know, 100 or 200 mile, I didn't actually look at the mileage, ride over the weekend, down through some twisties, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyways, what is it like to ride this bike slow? BMW actually has some, I don't know if it's proprietary technology, but I'm pretty sure that this is the only bike, or BMW bikes are the only bikes that have it, and it is dual cam technology. And what that means is that there's a cam for low RPMs and another cam for high RPMs. What that translates to for the rider is decent torque down low. You don't actually have to get this bike, as you can see, it revs up to 14,000 RPMs, but you don't have to get this bike. When I'm riding around town, it feels pretty good, in my opinion, to keep it below 4,000 RPMs. And it doesn't matter what gear I'm in. If I'm in 6th gear at 4,000 RPMs, I'm probably going 60 or 70 miles an hour, but I can still just twist my wrist and it takes off. Would it take off faster if I downshifted? Of course, yeah, it's gonna go faster. It definitely has more powers when it's in higher RPM, but it's fine. I think it's fine for riding around town. I don't really have a problem with it. Now, I will say, to that note, that it's kind of interesting. You don't normally have to give this bike gas to let the clutch out. You can kind of just ease. If you're on a straight hill, or I'm sorry, if you're on a flat ground, like no hill at all, or even just like a slight downhill, you can just let the clutch out and this bike will go. And it's funny because just letting the clutch out and giving it no gas, this bike is going 15 miles an hour. So when I'm like doing trips downtown and riding around the square and stuff where the speed limit is 20 miles an hour, it can get a little tricky to ride the bike lower than 20 miles an hour, but it's still doable, especially if you're willing to, you know, if you understand the clutch and you just use the clutch correctly. Sometimes you don't even have to let the clutch out fully, you know, because you might have 2 stop signs in a row on one block, and you know, you just give it a little bit of, let the clutch out slightly, let it go up to the next stoplight, and then pull the clutch back in. So overall, I think my experience with riding this bike slow is, it's not bad. Now, with that said, the Yamaha MT07 was funner to ride around town. It was just easier. You didn't quite have to worry about killing yourself quite as much. And it had a lot of torque down low. It was just designed to be an around the town hooligan machine. And so obviously it's, you know, it's better at that. But yeah, I still have no complaints. In a perfect world, I would have kept the Yamaha and rode it around town and then ride this on the highway. But you know, I just don't have, one, I'm not really that rich. I'm not rich at all. I do luckily have a good enough job where I can afford motorcycles, and obviously even expensive motorcycles, as this thing is not that cheap. But it wouldn't have been really feasible for me to keep both motorcycles and pay for the insurance on both motorcycles. And then on top of that, I have a roommate right now who parks his car, and we both park our car in my 2-car garage, and we both have motorcycles, and we squeeze those in there too. So adding a third motorcycle inside, 3 motorcycles and 2 cars inside of a 2-car garage wasn't really, it's not really feasible. It's not really gonna work. And there's a cop. I'm pretty sure I'm speeding. Let's see if he comes pulling me over. That'll be kind of funny if I got pulled over while I was recording. Anyways, yeah, so that's really all I have to say about the around town manners. It's all right. Now, I want to talk about a big part of my review on the MT07 was about comfort. and I want to talk about comfort on this motorcycle. This motorcycle is interesting because if you think about a sport bike, everyone knows sport bikes are not designed to be comfortable. They're not. The rider is an afterthought. They're just not comfortable, you know? Still, when you look at reviews on this motorcycle, you'll find reviews from like Revzilla and even Yami Noob, where they're saying this motorcycle is comfortable for a couple of hours, and it's by far the most comfortable sport bike they ever rode. And maybe that's true. Maybe it is the most comfortable sport bike. Especially with the M package, it does have a lot of comfort features like cruise control, heated grips, things like that, quick shifter. But overall, I still don't think it's fair to say that this bike is comfortable for 2 hours of riding. The seat is it's an M package, so obviously an M package seat, and the seat is hard as a fucking rock. The seat is so stiff, and that's saying something, because I was not particularly fond of the Yamaha MT07 seat, and it is way more comfortable than this BMW M package seat. Way more comfortable. And then obviously the riding position has you very leaned forward and just high foot pegs, so your knees are lower than when you're riding this bike correctly. Your knees are higher than your elbows. So nothing about this machine is comfortable. It's just not. And maybe it is the most comfortable sport bike, but it's still not comfortable. And I don't think it's fair to say that you can easily get on this bike for an hour or two and you'll be perfectly comfortable, because I'm not. I'm just not. So yeah, I have a feeling that the reason why those like Revzilla and even Yami say that this bike is so comfortable is because they have more experience on sport bikes than I do, and they know just how uncomfortable a sport bike can get. I have a feeling that is what's going on there. And you know, so be it. I am a noob. This is my first sport bike I ever rode, and yeah, so take it, you know, that's my opinion, and it is what it is. Okay, now let's talk about where this bike shines. And I know I could easily just split this lane, but this person is obviously uncomfortable in this position, and to be honest with you, I'm not super comfortable with it either, so I'll just wait. I'm in no rush. I'm in a neighborhood. I'm not gonna hot rod through a neighborhood anyways. By the way, this freaking neighborhood is beautiful. I don't know if the camera's been able to see some of these houses, but like this house coming up right in front of me, it's even for sale, it looks like. And oh my god, it's fucking beautiful. This is a nice neighborhood in Springfield, Missouri. Don't get it wrong. Don't get any ideas. They're not all like this. In fact, most of Springfield is pretty shitty. But yeah, back to the bike. Where is this bike fun? Okay, so this bike will do 100 miles an hour in first gear, no problem. And so obviously it's fun on the highway. This thing will fucking haul some ass on the highway. And yeah, it's got wheelie control, so you can kind of be a hooligan even beyond your skill a little bit if you want. I wouldn't suggest it. I have been very scared of this motorcycle and riding it as if I am. I have not done a wheelie, even though I'm tempted to play with the wheelie control, but mostly just because I am scared of the bike and I haven't really gotten on it. Now, when I say that, I want you to keep in mind I have taken this bike up to 140 miles an hour, so you know, I have felt the power a little bit. I need to go, no, I want to go to 65. No, wait, I think I do want to go that direction. Damn it. Oh well. Oh, hey, there's a stop sign here. I think I'm going to take a left turn here. What's going on with the traffic here? Okay. Traffic's good. Now, one thing about this bike, and you can kind of see I'm struggling a little bit right now, that is because I'm a noob, and I'm also a noob on this bike. It is a little bit longer of a wheelbase than my MT07, so I feel like I just don't feel as confident. A maneuver like that on my MT07, I've done it a million times, but I don't know. I'm still new on this bike. I don't feel as comfortable. It's a lot more powerful, and it's just a longer wheelbase. Anyways, back to the highway. It's super fun on the highway. I also took it on a trip down Missouri 125 all the way to the Peel Ferry in Arkansas. If you're in the area and you've never rode that ride, I highly suggest you give it a shot. Super fucking fun, incredibly fun. I love that ride. So I'll repeat that again. It's Missouri 125. I like to start in Rogersville. There is a gas station you can fill up before you start the ride. Rogersville, Missouri 125. They sell 91 octane, and then you can you take Missouri 125 all the way south to the ferry that is just beyond the Arkansas border. It's called Peel Ferry. Hey, a Cybertruck. I couldn't think of the damn name. That's pretty cool. And you cross the ferry, and then for me, I just take the quickest route back to Springfield. There is still a little bit more of 125 in Arkansas, but it's mostly just big, wide turns. It's not really anything that's, it's only like 2 or 3 miles anyways. It's not really anything that's worth riding it. I usually just take the quickest ride home, quickest route home. Another thing you could do is just turn around, not get on the ferry, just turn around and ride back north up the ferry. That would be a good idea too. I'm sorry, back up north 125. That would be a good idea too. So anyways, I took it on some twisties, and this bike, while scary, it is very confidence inspiring in the corners. I want to say I was getting up to 60-70 miles an hour on twisty roads that were telling me that the yellow sign was telling me like 35 miles an hour. Now, there was a couple times I got scared as shit. I definitely probably went faster than I should have. Not that the bike should have, but just that I should have. The bike is definitely way faster than me. So just be careful. I probably should. I did that after 1 week of ownership. I probably should have taken it easier, and I didn't even really, honestly, I didn't really do anything that crazy. It was just a little scary for me because I'm a freaking noob. My freaking visor is starting to fog up. Oh yeah, if you're assuming the wind isn't cutting out my voice and it's not just terrible for editing, you're gonna see the timeline of this video is a little weird because I actually ended the video since I was getting on the highway. But I ended the video before there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it, and hopefully the wind doesn't destroy the video. Anyways, I want to talk about the mirrors. The mirrors on this bike, when I bought it, there were no mirrors. The mirrors were, the previous owner took the mirrors off, and I put them back on. Now, the mirrors, I'll just go right out and say it, the mirrors suck ass. They are not that good. You can't really see anything directly behind you, or you can see behind you and you can't see the lanes next to you. That's probably typical sport bike things, but I figured I'd point it out. Something that I don't think is typical of these mirrors is they vibrate a lot. I think it's because they were off and I put them back on. When I look at other YouTubers with this bike, it doesn't feel like their mirrors vibrate nearly as much as mine. And that may just be movie magic, but I don't think it is. I think there's something up. I've read on some forums, I even commented on one, and someone suggested that there's a rubber boot inside the mirror when you're mounting it on, and suggested that maybe I didn't get that rubber boot on, and I did. The rubber boot is on, so that's not the cause, unless the rubber boot is just fucked up and I didn't know it. One other thing I wanted to talk about is, this should come as no surprise, but in my previous video I talked about how the MT07 felt a little vibrating and just wobbly all the way around once you hit around 100 miles an hour. This motorcycle has a full fairing and is obviously designed to go faster than the Yamaha MT07 is designed to go. And overall is just generally a better bike and a more expensive bike. But you can easily go 100 miles an hour on this bike and not be afraid that the bike is going to kill you and wobble out from underneath you. And I'm definitely not doing 100 miles an hour as we speak. Thanks for watching, guys. Look out for more content. It's getting cold, so I don't know how much more motorcycle content I'll be able to produce, but I definitely would like to. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and keep an eye out for more future motorcycle content. Hopefully I can get a couple more videos out before it gets too cold.